Yo, what to do, Bears fans? It's your boy KB with a whole host of fellas in this thing tonight, man. We got a lot of things we're gonna get into today, man. We got wild, wild finishes in a game, brother. That at one point you thought was in hand. You went to the bathroom to you get that break in. You came back out and there was a lot more going on. But man, we're gonna get into that and a lot more. Stay tuned to us.
Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Yo, again, like I said, what it do, Bears fans and Chicago Sports Podcast coming to you live with a heart wrencher, with a pucker factor, a little bit of everything happening in this game, brother. I mean, like I said, we put up the points. You thought the game was in hand. You walk away thinking and feeling great. You turn around and come back, and it's a full game with the Bengals on top. Listen, fellas, I can't speak for everybody. I had a roller coaster of emotions. I might have cussed some people out. I almost put hands on people.
Oh Lord!
And these are just random people. I can't even say it was people I knew. It was just random people that was gonna get hurt. And then that fury turned into pure joy on a level that I cannot speak. I mean, we get into it. Bears get into a shootout, man. The first shootout of the season. And they pull it off. I think when I speak for me, man, I think I'm speaking for everybody on this panel when I say I think that's a game we have been waiting to see. We've been waiting to see if we can win the shootout. We got the shootout win. Now we need to see the full victory encompass of special teams being good, offense being good, and defense being good. We need to see all the factors being touched on, man. We need to get a solid victory all around. So, man, like I said, man, let me start this thing off. Boy, let me get my boy AC. AC, man, tell me what you felt, brother. Tell me about the game.
You know me a little more than everybody else. I live an hour outside of Cincinnati. I actually grew up a Cincinnati Bengal, so I really went through a roller coaster of emotions in this game. But first and foremost, happy Victory Monday to all those who celebrate. Luckily, we get to celebrate. I woke up feeling a little moody this morning, fellas. I don't know what it was. Just a little Jake Moody is what I saw game yesterday. I couldn't believe the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, and I still can't see how Trayne Edmonds was down on the pick six return. He explained it to me because I've been watching football my entire life, and he went down, he came back up, ran it all the way back, and then he called it back because the guys did his fingernail touch him. I didn't see him get touched.
It was fair, like,
but
trying
if
to
that
pull
pick
the ball
six stays
in,
on the board,
like, literally his fingernail touched him. It was crazy. Go ahead.
It's wild. It's wild. If that pick six stays on the board, then it's not even a close game. You don't even worry about the onside kick afterwards. I'm just glad we pulled out the dub. And KB, I told you the story before we went live. So I was wearing my hoodie to watch the start of the game. I was doing some laundry and doing some other stuff, and we go up big. I saw the pick six, and I'm putting laundry away. I got a little hot, so I took my hoodie off. Well, then all of a sudden the Bengals start coming back, and I'm like, damn, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little. So I go back upstairs. My wife goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "Apparently, I can't be hot. I got to put this hoodie back on because this is what's happening." I shit you not. Soon as I slid the hoodie back on, Caleb Williams threw the touchdown pass to win the ball game. So I guess I just got to be warm, fellas. You're welcome on a Victory Monday.
Shout out to you. You the player of the game, dog.
Obviously,
Hey, man.
yeah.
Man, D Nice, man. Give me your feelings, brother.
Hey man, look here, man. I'm not look.
Hey,
I'm glad. I'm not gonna apologize for the win. I'm happy for it. Love it. But something got to happen with these special teams, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like these special teams, you know. Now I don't want to call for nobody head, man. But it's time, bro. We gotta bounce hot towel up out of here, bro. Like it's just something that has to happen. You know, it's been real, dog, because it just doesn't make any sense. You know, gave special teams a pass kind of the week before, but this is unacceptable, bro. Like everything that could happen involving special teams happened to the negative. It happened yesterday. Everything except the block punt, but
Yep.
you know the run back off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Year to the day. And it's something about guys that's either from Chicago or former Bears or something like that. They always find a way to get the ups, bro. You know what I'm saying? They always find a way to do something miraculous against us. You know, I don't know what's in that, but it happens all the time. But a win is a win. We'll take it. But the special teams, it's beyond past needing work, bro. They need a new leader in that department of special teams. Rome Dunze, hey man, catch the ball, my man.
Facts.
Catch the ball. You started out with a spark, man, but now it's looking garbage, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's looking garbage. I'm being real. It's looking garbage. You gotta catch the ball, fam.
the Jay Z
Um,
line right there. Huh? Yeah, the
yeah,
spot where you started, but now you just got.
yeah. Left tackle, same thing. Started out with a spark. Looking garbage, man. It's looking garbage. So, you know, we always gonna have some things that we're gonna have to tighten up year to year. I mean, game to game, and of course year to year. But those things, you know, helped Cincinnati tremendously yesterday, and we squeaked out the victory. You know, them being so bad, them being worse than us helped us win. And sometimes it happens like that. You know, this year's been filled with a whole lot of things so early on, from having to lead the first game, having the team come back on us,
Yep.
getting a 50 burger put on us the second game, to looks like we turned things around against a pretty decent offense again in Dallas. Um, then you know the 4-game winning streak, and now here comes the shootout. So you know we play the Giants next week. I'm here to see what's next, bro. You know, because eventually we're gonna put a complete game together.
Eventually.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, the percentages says that, but we don't know when. But eventually, we have to put a complete game together. Even the Carolina Panthers have had games where they put a complete game together against the Falcons. Of course, they won 30-0, so they did well offensively and defensively. That's what I'm saying when I say a complete game together. You know what I'm saying? But our time has to come, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting on it, man. But I take the win.
All right, man. My boy Trey, man. Speak on it for me. Speak on
All
it.
right, man, I was all over the place watching this game, man, and you know the offense looked good, like pretty good, decent the whole game. You know, there was like a nice complete game from the offense. Running game looked amazing. I mean, DeAndre Swift, who you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, Monangai came in there and did his thing, like, and I kind of expected him to a little bit. Something told me he was going to have a good game, probably better than I anticipated. You know, 176 yards, 22 carries, and 6.8 a clip. So, that's top notch running right there. And then, when we get to the end of the game, it's just like the defense just couldn't, with all the injuries and the secondary and everything like that. I kind of understand that the defensive line kind of had little sparks, but not really enough. You know, not enough consistency on the defensive line. They did have a few sacks, so it's better than what they have been doing, but it just wasn't complete. And I think that has to do a lot with it. I think once we start getting healthy again, the defense will look a lot better in the future. But that last drive, man, I promise I'm not even lying about this, or I wouldn't even say it. Everything I asked them to do, it just happened. Kind of like how you said when he put his sweater back on. I was like, because the announcer the whole game, right, was saying, I just wish Caleb would just use his legs a little bit more. And I was like, I think he's right. Like, he said, just get out there. Just don't think about it. Just run. If you got space, get the positive yardage. And I was like, okay, Caleb, they back's gonna be to you. Just run, get a first down if you can. Do it. And boom, he did that. I'm like, great. I said, okay, we still got a timeout. I said, get the ball to the middle of the field, at least in football, at least in field goal range. I said, that's all you got to do, Caleb. Like, look at the middle of the field. I said, we got a timeout. I said, but I said, go ahead, just relieve all the pressure. Just go ahead and score a touchdown if you want. And boom, that's what happened. I'm like, man,
wow.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was excited over the win. So, but yeah, like, you shouldn't have to apologize for how you win in the NFL. Like, it's not gonna come easy. Everybody's out there to try to win, and I'm glad they pulled the game out, because these are the games that we usually lose. Like,
Absolutely.
So
Hey,
we pulled it out.
I was gonna say, man, before we throw this thing to Q real quick, man, be remiss to say, hey, man, we got the chef in the building, Coach Chef. What's going on with you, brother?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, man.
Good.
Everything is good on the Victory Monday, brother. Everything is good.
Definitely. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We gonna get Q's thoughts real quick, and then we're gonna kick this thing to you, man. And we're gonna keep this show pushing, man. We're gonna keep you straight and you. Go on, Q, man. Let me hear your thoughts real quick, brother. Q, you there? You froze?
Game, man. One of the best, most exciting. One of the exciting games, like D said, man. The special teams. I want to give a shout out to Darnell Wright, man. I killed him early in the season. Man, he has turned it on, man. He was a bully out there for sure. The Jersey kid, Cal, beast. And, like you guys said, this game we probably would have lost last year, man. Big shout out to Johnson. It's clear the culture is changing for the better. Be a Bears fan, man, because the future looks to have a person and Heckley knows what he's doing. And like you guys said, he's going to – it's been bad all year long, but damn, that was horrific. That was horrific yesterday, man. But, man, no complaints from me. Like I said, I killed Darnell Wright early in the season. He turned it up, man. And he's turning into one of the best right tackles in the game these last few weeks. Can't complain about that, man. So I really have no complaints besides special teams. It's looking at the future, Chicago, man.
Hey, man, they absolutely do, man. Like I said, bro. I mean, we're gonna get into a few other these things, man. Talk about this game a little bit more in depth. But like I said, man, we be kicking this thing around the room, man. Chef, man, give me your thoughts, man. Where was your head at? Like I said, because my head was almost off. You hear me? It was almost off. What was your feelings, brother?
Yeah, it was. The game was. I don't know. I have to say, man, football is football, but it definitely was a roller coaster of emotion, especially when you're up You know, 2 scores after the interception by Edmonds. So you're thinking, you know, hey, we need to finish this game out, and you just let this team stay around. A team that I reminded some people about, they've scored 30 points the past 3 games with Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco could throw 5 interceptions in the first half. He was going to keep slinging that thing regardless because he's a veteran. That's what that guy do. Him having a career high is bonkers to me, a 470. But, you know, it's the NFL, it's not college. So 470 is bonkers for anybody. I felt the same way, obviously, about the special teams. I mean, the special teams, especially the kickoff coverage team, has been extremely problematic the entire season. I think as I saw the game in the second half with so many kickoffs with the scoring, they did better not allowing the Bengals back to the 30-35. But that first half was, oh my goodness, the first 2 kickoffs was crazy. The first one obviously untouched. The second one, Samaje Perine, who's a power back, is getting 40 yards on a return. You know, when you're not getting touched. So I think obviously that needs to be addressed. Richard Hightower has a very interesting dynamic. Getting rid of a special teams coach, Ms. Sister, I don't know. I know if that's going to happen, but obviously there has to be some changes in their personnel. I don't know if it's a schematic thing. It looks more to me as a personnel thing. Like, you got to get players who are going to go down the field, get off blocks, and make tackles, not just lunging. You see a lot of lunging from these kickoff guys. Other than that, I don't have the only other issue I would have with the special teams would be kickoff return. We're one of the few teams that can't seem to either get a long return, or when we do get a long return, it's a holding. Yesterday's holding was a BS call because that's not even in the play. So, you know, if you're not impacted on the play, you shouldn't be pulling no flag. Offensively, you felt good. Rome, hey, he pulled up a goose egg, but you drafted this guy to be a contested catch guy, and he's having issues doing the thing that he was supposed to be good at. But then you come back around with the number 10 pick and his coming out party. I made a TikTok saying, I don't give a damn about Warren with Indianapolis, but you got to give the guy targets. Yeah. I don't think that should change when Met goes back. I think you hear a lot of fans talking about trading people here, trading this, trading that. This team isn't a finished product, man. This is the first year of Ben Johnson with the squad. Like, we got to see how this is going to play out. Trading people just to get bodies is, to me, a bad idea. Crazy. See what you have with this core group and what you can do with them offensively and defensively. Then you see where the adjustments can go as far as, you know, do we need to bring in more bodies, more talent? Obviously, we're going to need all of those things. We're not a finished product. I just watched the Ben Johnson interview from today, and it was even addressed by my man Herb, who I had the pleasure of talking with a couple years ago. Him asking, you know, you're getting wins and you haven't put together a full 60-minute game. That must make you feel good. That's not a quote, but that's just just what he asked. And Ben said, yeah, we haven't put together a full 60-minute game. And in the NFL, to win successfully on a consistent basis, you're going to need a consistent 60-minute output from special teams, offense, and defense. I'm not going to lie. The last time that I quit on the Bears was the Monday night game when they played the Cardinals back in 2006. So I have a thing about never quitting on my team that I've been rooting for the better part of all my living life. So I didn't quit on them last night. I mean, yesterday afternoon. But after that last touchdown, I was just like, yo. The pass protection was an issue. The Canadian Eagle, look, I also made a statement on the TikTok and a video for my pregame show is we were so quick to get rid of Braxton Jones, and now he's out. So, you know, there's nothing to do about it now. But the left tackle he got started, I mean, I'm not saying he's the answer. Actually, I'm not saying he's the answer, but he don't look no better than a returning injury Braxton Jones does. So I don't see all the hoopla people having, oh, Braxton's not in, the left tackle's getting better. No, the left tackle either looks exactly the same or looks actually a tad worse. He's a little bit better in the run. The Bengals are 32nd in all defensive statistics that matter. Yep. So if you couldn't run the ball yesterday, then you got bigger problems than a backup tackle and a backup running back. So Pleasancy, they put together, 283, I think, yesterday on the ground. Britton Brown had 4 carries, got a 22-yard touchdown. So you found a way to win. An old high school football coach of mine, my junior year of high school, before I transferred high schools, he had this saying that I've lived by in football. There's three things you need to win a game. Do your job, do your job, trust the people around you, and find a way to get it done. And the last part is key. No matter how you win in the NFL or any other, but especially the NFL, find a way to get that W. And the Bears did it again.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Hey,
For sure.
hey, man, you know what? It's a couple things you touched on, man. I would absolutely love to get into, because as my boy AC knows, I had made a very, very, very bold prediction on the Bar Fight Tailgate Show. We do that shit live every 10 a.m. on a Sunday, right before the games. That I said that I felt the running game was going to be over 200 yards on the ground. That I knew Monangai was going to have a day, but I guarantee you, Britton Brown was going to show why he should be on the active roster, and he should have been on the active roster. Because Travis Homer being on this roster, I'm not understanding. Roshan Johnson at this point being on this roster, I'm not understanding. But I mean, man, that gets us into a couple of these highlights, man. One of the big highlights of the day being these rookies. One Kyle Monangai, running back, who I know everybody on this panel has said needs to get more carries. At some point or another, have said this man needs to get the ball in his hands. And I don't care if it's against the worst defense in the league or if it's against the best defense in the league. You gave that man the ball. He gave you what? Over 180 all-purpose yards yesterday from the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sorry. I seen it in the chat. Somebody said David Montgomery 2.0. And it's not wrong. The dude does not go down on first contact.
Right.
He falls forward every time he's carrying the ball. He ain't going backwards. And that type of determination when you run the ball pays dividends in the game, especially in the game where you got to have them yards. My boy AC was saying before we got on, hey, man, Battle threw a couple of them shoulders into Kyle Monangai last night and just bounced right off of him. Britton Brown's first touch on an active roster goes for a touchdown. I mean, he did have the one moment where he ran and realized he could have got more yards, but I understood where his thinking was. I don't want to go out of bounds with this. I want to stay in balance to try to run this clock down. But he knew where he had made a mistake at and is willing to correct that going forward. Man, so okay, let me hear something about some of these rookies, man. Because like I said, Kyle Monangai looked fantastic in his first official start. And then by no means am I sitting here saying that's a recipe to try to trade DeAndre Swift or get rid of DeAndre Swift. I've seen people post on X and Facebook, oh, this is DeAndre Swift's walking paper. Why the hell would it be his walking paper?
No.
Why? I'm not understanding.
No. Man.
Like I said, man, y'all boys talk on this, man. Whoever want to take that and run with it, man, y'all go ahead and do it.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you brought up that he looked like David Montgomery. He looked more like a different running back from our past to me. I thought it looked close to a Jordan Howard. We didn't top end away from you speed, but like you said, he was always falling forward. He was people, and he was just determined to make it work. I know the chef brought up the was beautiful yesterday. We talked about running through people, getting up and burying dudes. That's exactly what you want to see. Some of our leadership and a Joe Tooney in this run, like they said, this is the Bengals, and they haven't had a great running defense all year. But I mean, those dudes get paid too, and they show up every Sunday and try to earn that paycheck. I mean, and we showed up and we got. But he reminds me more of Jordan Howard than a David Montgomery. But I mean, I guess splitting hairs. I was very impressed with what I saw out of Monangai.
Yeah, but Monangai was a very late pick. But what we all knew, or for those who didn't, his strongest suit was his contact balance. You know, and that showed yesterday. You know, he's built kind of low to the ground. You know, strong lower body. You know, he can get a little shifty, but he runs with power. And usually in sports, the low man wins. So that's what we seen a lot of that yesterday. The contact balance, and just the determination. You know, when guys are hungry, and most great players, most good players are hungry, and when they get their opportunities to play, they're not going to disappoint. And the more carries he got, you seen, you know, he can go all game, carry that thing 20 plus times a game. That's something that
26
we
carries.
that's something that we need. And like you guys mentioned about Travis Homer, and we've been saying it all year, Roshan Johnson, like, what are we doing? You know, Travis Homer's supposed to be this special teams guy, from what I understand. And I'm sure he's an awesome guy. I'm sure he's a great guy, you know, in the locker room and all that. But man, come on, man. You know, Brent Brown should have been getting carries. You know, now
Absolutely.
I'm not just being a prisoner of the moment, just because he, you know what I'm saying, ran for 30 plus yards on 5 carries versus Cincinnati, which, like Chef said, is the worst defense in the league. You know what I mean? If you can't run on them, you can't run on anybody. But you have to take advantage of the opportunities when given, and that's exactly what he did. And I think he earns an opportunity next week against the Giants to do the same thing. But speaking of our top 10 tight end, Coastal Loveland, I was not really hyped about picking the top 10 in the top 10. I mean, picking the tight end in the top 10, but they did it. And he showed why yesterday. Again, it's against one of the worst defensive teams in the league, but he's had an opportunity to stack, you know what I'm saying? He's given this opportunity, you know, with Cole being in and out, you know, the last couple of games, he's been given an opportunity to shine, and that's what he did. You know, just because he caught the ball didn't mean that he had to run the score. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe if Cole Kmet would have caught the ball, he would have
He
fell
failed.
down on the hit.
He failed.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, great job by top 10 tight end. And hopefully that's, you know what I'm saying, opportunity to do a little bit more next week.
Man,
Yeah,
what you got, Trey?
Yeah, I think like I said, I know Cole Kmet got hurt early in the game. Hope he's a speedy recovery. And you know, DeAndre Swift got hurt. You know, hope he comes back strong as well, because you know they do contribute and they are good players. But I'm glad that we got a chance to see what happens when these rookies are featured, because now you have that trust in them, right? You know, they went out there and did it and they executed. You know, so it wasn't just a body out there. You know, they did what they had to do when given the opportunity. So I think that's one of the key things, that, you know, seeing that they're capable when, you know, the opportunity does present itself. So when we do get healthy, you know, we can be running on all cylinders and nobody will get tired, because everybody we put out there can produce. So, and we can like really have those, one of those complete games that, you know, D Nice was talking about, especially, you know, like, because you just see it in bits and pieces. Like, you saw it, like, you know, the defense, you saw what they can do when with creating turnovers and stuff. And you now you see what the offense can do when, like, you got the vision of what the coaches staff are trying to do. And I can't say that about any of the past regimes of watching the Bears teams. Like, what are they trying? Like, what's our identity? What are we trying to execute? Like, what's the game plan here? Like, it's clear with the Bears what they're trying to do. And once they gel and get this thing going, I really think, you know, the Bears are going to be a dangerous team.
Absolutely. Man, before I pass this thing to Chef, the coach Chef, man, I'm gonna say this, man, because it's something that's been burning me. Going into this new year, man, this season, you look at the schedule and you know everybody does that. Oh man, we can win this game, we'll lose this game, we might lose this game go 50-50, whatever. And I mean, I'm old enough to remember a lot of these media pundits saying that we were supposed to lose to the Ravens, we were supposed to lose to the Bengals, we were supposed to lose to X team, Dallas, Commanders. We're supposed to lose all these teams. Now, what I'm getting at is this. Do y'all think that if Joe Burrow played in that game, there would have been any difference?
Nah, they did what they had to do on offense.
Hey, bro. Listen, bro. Now, maybe the turnovers might not have been there, but if a guy throwing for 470, bro, it don't matter what his name is.
Right.
Thank you. He threw for 470 and 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, but the turnovers probably wouldn't have been there. You know, those interceptions that Joe Flacco threw. Burrow, he don't throw many of those.
I mean, but tell you what, it was one real interception outside of the failed Mary that he had that you knew he wasn't going to be able to throw because his shoulder gone.
The sack fumble.
Yeah.
The sack fumble, that could have happened.
He's more mobile.
You get the wheels spinning on it. Yeah, Joe Burrow might be a little bit more mobile than what Joe Flacco is. Joe Flacco almost put up 500 yards, bro.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that's not good enough to win a game in the NFL?
And he had 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the previous 3 games. So
right. So in my line of thinking, man, to me, it didn't matter if Joe Burrow was playing in that game. Because that's just me. Because I'm looking at what happened. Because at the end of the day, if you gave the Bears the ball with a minute and some change left, do you still think we would have moved that ball down the field?
Yeah, we definitely.
That's my whole point right there. It don't matter if you got Joe Burrow on the other side at that point, because look, you still put up 42 points in a loss.
Agreed. A
loss.
I just think the game would have been controlled a little bit differently with Burrow in the center.
Absolutely.
You know, now,
I feel that.
Now, it might not have been a 40, 47, 48 type of game. It might not have been that, but you know, so I think we still would have had an opportunity to win because the defense is so bad on that side. But I think with Burrow on the center, you know, the game is under control a little bit more. Now we look at Flacco's production. Can't argue with it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Can't argue. He was looking like Dan Marino out there. You know what I mean? Can't argue with the production. But, you know, sometimes, you know, like in basketball, you have point guards like Russell Westbrook, and you got point guards like Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think point guards like like Jason Kidd, you know, has a little better command of the game.
Absolutely.
Than a guy like Russell Westbrook. Now, Russell Westbrook might have all these other athletic qualities and can put up all these tremendous numbers. Cool. But if you have control of the game and able to control the game in certain types of way, it kind of sways the outcome a bit. But do I think the Bears still would have had a chance to win? Of course, because the defense, the Cincinnati defense, man, I think we can suit up, man. Practice for 6 weeks and get on out there, man.
And see, and like I said, bro, that's my biggest pushback on a lot of these pundits saying, "Well, it's the Bengals, blah blah."
Well, you know what else they gonna say? What else they gonna say, bro?
It's if the Bengals had Joe Burrow, yeah, the game might have been a little bit more controlled, but at the end of the day, that's the same damn defense that's gonna be out there playing regardless. So I can give a damn whether it's the 32nd ranked Bengals. If Joe Burrow played, they would have had the Bengals beating us, and that's what my whole point is.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
Schedule, you can only play who on your schedule.
Hell yeah.
The Bengals could have been the number 1 defense and the worst offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still them. These are NFL teams we're talking about, right?
Yeah, zero apologies for wins, bro.
Zero. Right. Man, Coach, man, holla at me, man. Tell me how you feel about this young rookie running back and this young rookie tight end, brother.
So I was a fan of both of them. Let me not say fan. I definitely was a big advocate for Monangai when he was drafted in the 7th. I know there were a lot of fans, because, you know, watch a lot of YouTube and knew, you know, even here in Arizona, I try to tune in to, you know, the radio, ESPN, 670, all that good stuff. And people were like, we need a running back. Excluding Saquon Barkley last year, leading the league in rushing and winning a Super Bowl, that doesn't happen. So you need just competent running back play. And when you have a guy like Swift, you just need someone to complement him by being that quote unquote hard nosed downhill one cut runner. Although technically he's a downhill one cut runner, just in a different style. He's got more speed, more quickness than just being, put your head down. Although he has been running a lot tougher this year. But you need complementary backs when you have a guy like Swift. And having a guy like Monangai, you just need to give him carries. And that trust had to come. I thought that Roschon would be more of a factor, but those injuries, obviously, I don't like calling people busts or judging GMs for drafting guys who have history of injuries because he didn't have it in college. It's just it's unfortunate when you get to the NFL that that's what he's unfortunately kind of become now. Loveland, when they drafted Loveland, I figured they might because of the I don't want to say the Midwestern time. I think they were looking for more of an athletic guy. I'm not saying that Warren isn't athletic. I'm just thinking that they wanted more of a pure receiving type of tight end to balance with a Cole Kmet, who's more of a traditional wide who gives you 50-50 balance with being a blocker and a receiver. Warren, I thought, honestly, I'm not going to lie, he's done tremendous, but I thought of him more of as an H-back, more of a move tight end than a receiver. I mean, obviously, he's athletic enough to be moved, but more of the guy you can line up in the backfield. I think Loveland, as we saw him, I mean, even on the touchdown, he lined up at wide receiver. He was in the slot. It was kind of a bunch twins formation for them. But I think their body type and what they bring are slightly different. I would say pure athleticism. He showed it yesterday because there were some catches early in the year where he's catching and getting down or catching and falling. I think those are more or less accuracy issues from Caleb or safety throws. But he showed his athleticism. What we want to see, we want to see the acceleration. We want to see him bounce up of players and make plays after the contact. So I was okay with it because I didn't think that there was a valuable tight end at 10. I didn't want them to draft back. And if it was between him and Warren, it's kind of like, what is your vision of the coaching staff? So they clearly had him valued higher. So I'm not going to argue that because, that arguing between positions of guys who are top at their positions, that's a coach by coach, GM by GM circumstance. Would I have taken him over Warren? I probably would. To me, it's like a flip of the coin. What is your offense? What is your depth chart at that position, and what are you trying to do? But I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I knew Monangai would have a good game, but by no means did I think he's going to put up 198 combined yardage. He was 16 for 100 in the first half. He ended with 176. 60 yards to carry. We saw it in a couple games before when they put together almost 300 yards with him and Swift together and the whole offense rushing the ball. But those offensive plays were there for the taking, and they took advantage of it. We just got to clean up. The beginning of the first 3 games of the season, it was clear that the pass blocking was better than the run blocking. The last 2.5, 3 games, it's kind of teetered. Like, where's the pass blocking going as a whole? Like, Caleb did look happy, but he didn't look stable in the pocket as he did earlier in the season. But the run blocking, on the other hand, like, you would think they've been doing this all damn year. They were just moving people out the way. The Bengals not so good, obviously. The other defenses they played were not so good. But yeah, man, that was the offense. Although, which is funny, they did the thing that I wanted them to have. Let me finish up. The thing I wanted them to have is I wanted them to finish in the red zone. That was my biggest gripe. It was like, bro, that red zone offense was cheeks, man. And although we still haven't seen any jump balls, because I've been arguing for jump balls with all these big ass receivers for the past four seasons, regardless of the coaching staff. Like, you got Rome, you got a 6'6" Kmet, you got a 6'4" Loveland. I ain't seen one back show the fade in the red zone. I ain't seen one jump ball in the red zone. I seen a whole bunch of play action crosses and trying to chip and trying to screen players and the run play. Like, bro, can we just see we got the athleticism to play jump ball? But they won. That's obviously the point. But just things that you want to see as a fan. When I get my team gets inside the 10, I'm only 6'2", but I ain't gonna lie. Through high school, college, semi-pro, whatever I played, hey, we inside the 10, bro. Hey, I'm patting the top of my head. Throw that bad boy up to the top. And I'm not 6'4". So being 6'4", 6'5", I would like to see that more from our receiving core, especially Kmet 6'6", Loveland 6'4", Rome is 6'3". Like, I would like to see that more from our red zone. And obviously, I would like to see our red zone actually run the ball between the tackles because we struggle in that still. So.
Yeah.
But they got the touchdown. They got those touchdowns when they were in there this week. So, hey, by any means necessary.
Hey man, real quick, man. We gotta acknowledge a couple things in the chat. One of the big ones being over 1,200 viewers, bro. Really? To get on here to see these pretty faces, because I'm an ugly mug, boy. Y'all don't want to see me. Y'all came to see these handsome gentlemen on this podcast. Hey, listen to them talk some good football talk. But we want to shout out to Mr. Joseph Archer, who won either a Monangai or a Loveland jersey. Man, congratulations to you, brother. And listen, man, this could be anybody. This could be you. It could be anybody. I just want to say, man, just coming off this comeback win, you know what I'm saying? The Bears, it's weird calling this a comeback win when it felt like we had the game handily won. It's so weird. But we're coming up. CSP is doing another giveaway. Like I said, Mr. Joseph Archer in the comments, he's won this jersey. But it was either running back Kyle Monangai or tight end Colston Loveland, man. And we got a lucky fan in the building that got it, man. We do this all year for the whole season. So how you do it, how you get in on this, subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. Like a post, comment your favorite Bears moment, tag a friend of Navy and Orange, do all of that. All of it. Got a chance at winning, man. Like I said, Mr. Joseph Archer, congratulations on winning your choice of either a Monangai jersey or Colston Loveland jersey, man. Two of the biggest performers coming out of this week, man. So congratulations to you, brother. So, hey, man, we gonna keep this thing moving, man. Like I said, we had over 1,200 in the building, man. It's beautiful, man. We appreciate everybody that gets on here, man. The only thing we ask y'all to do for us is hit the like. If you want to subscribe. Share us with a friend, man. Even it's the hate. Even if it's the hate on us, man. Shares still get us views. You feel me? Man, like I said, we're moving along, man. It's a couple elephants in the room that we need to address. I think one of those being one of the breaking news outlets that just popped up over the past couple of hours. Dio Dangbo, torn Achilles, out for the year. 4 defensive ends already at that point, man. Now we're down to 3. You're looking at the trade deadline being tomorrow, man. You would have hoped by now to hear some type of news because, to be honest with you, I would have loved to hear, hey, this got hammered out, so this player be in town tomorrow, Wednesday, he's going to be at practice. So, I mean, you got to get the ball rolling immediately because you got to start getting ready for this Giants game, man. AC, man, speak to me, brother. Who you looking at, man? What's the biggest need right now? Is it edge? Is it another corner? Is it still a running back? I don't. AC, I don't know, man. You talk to me, brother. Where we at, man? What's the temperature on the position we need to get? Ooh, brother. There you go. I was gonna say you either froze or you lagging bad, brother.
Did you press the mute button?
We can't hear you, bro.
We can't hear you talking, AC.
You look
like he's making
cussing us out.
Right.
He's like,
my man is over there talking some facts, but we don't know what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna jump on in here for a hot second.
Real quick, D-Nice, go ahead and take it.
You know, when you see teams like Philly won the title and they still out here making moves. They got Jair Alexander. They just got the rush in Phillips from Miami. These you can never rest on your laurels, man. You know, and Philly's not doing that. Philly has the pedigree already to win championships, but they're still stacking it up, bro. And I kind of understand why we're not doing it here just yet, because the fact that we're not doing it here just yet, I don't think the people up top feel like we're ready. You know, and I feel like they don't want to give up any kind of draft capital for a guy that's maybe looked at as a rental.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so But it just hurts to see when your secondary is falling apart, and now your guys up front is falling apart. Two vital parts of the defense, man. You know that middle half of the defense is what it is, but the game starts up front, bro. It starts with the trenches and guys falling to the wayside. You don't want to see that, and then because the guys in the front affects the guys in the back, and you know we signed the guys off the street to play. You know what I'm saying? Day one, you know, it's not a good look, bro. Even though CJ Gardner Johnson, I like his game, but you know, it's a hard call right now. But if you asking me, I think the secondary is where we need to add somebody somewhere soon.
You got a name in mind, man, because it's funny.
Well, listen, man, Seattle got Reek Woolen, bro. Seattle got Reek Woolen, somebody that I wanted the Bears to draft when he was coming out of I think that's UTSA, if I'm not mistaken. But he's the guy I wanted the Bears to draft coming out. Seattle wants to get rid of him. The question will always be for me, what's the cost? You know, how much it's gonna cost us? You know, because I have my reservations about, you know, where guys like Jalen Johnson is gonna be when it comes down to this team going to the end of the year and coming into next year. Right. You know, people laugh and look crazy at me, but I think that's a real conversation that may have to be had. Okay. You know, but Reek Williams is one guy for sure. Now, if Jair Alexander was out there long enough, you know, I wouldn't mind taking a shot at him either, because I know, you know, it wouldn't have been that much money.
Right. See, now, before I pass this thing to Trey real quick, man, it's funny because it's a guy that's out there as a free agent who I had been wondering about and finally got an answer on. Ian Rappaport posted this over about an hour and a half ago, man. Free agent cornerback Asante Samuel, who had a spinal fusion procedure this offseason. Didn't know that. Didn't know that he had got a spinal fusion surgery. Didn't know the man had any kind of surgery, period. So that says why my man has been out on the streets as long as he has been. Somebody with that type of talent, and you have starting experience, man, with everybody hurting that corner, you would absolutely believe somebody would have brought this man in by now and gave him a look. But they're saying now that the doctors have cleared him, and now he's looking to be added to a team, man. While I'm saying all of that, Trey, man, what you think, brother? What you got in mind? What's the first position you looking at?
Yeah, as far as positioning goes, I mean the secondary might be the top one. If it was definitely on the defensive side of the ball. Well, I want to say probably defensive line, because I mean the more healthy, able bodies you have down there, and with the rotation, because you got to get pressure on the quarterback. If you get pressure on the quarterback, it makes everybody else's job easier. So I think that's what they probably should be focusing on. They didn't need to focus on that in the draft, but right now, like still, because you win games when you win at the line. But everybody knows it starts up front. Our offensive line is gelling better, except at tackle. I mean, left tackle. Maybe he's learning. Like, I think they're getting better. They look a lot better. Caleb's doing his thing. I mean, offensively, you know, they look much better, even with the injuries on offense. So I will definitely focus on the defensive line. I wish they could have made the trade for that guy from Miami that I think got picked up by the Eagles. So
yeah,
something like that would have been nice if they could just search, even if it is an expiring contract or something. We don't have to give up too much capital to get somebody that can just help us have a successful season, so we understand what it's like to, learn how to win games. And you don't want to lose games just because you hurt, So just get somebody in there that can be productive.
Hey man, I just want to throw this out there. Apparently, Chef, man, you won a jersey too. Hey man, look, I'm just looking at the comments.
Congratulations, Chef. Congratulations. Shout out to you, brother.
Right.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. That's what happened. I didn't know why I answered myself in a contest. So I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, I can dig it.
Hey, Chef, man, why we got you all choked up, brother? Why don't you speak
I guess so.
on these
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's been rough my first year in Arizona. I ain't won a whole lot, so it's been rough out here right now, man. But I mean, if that's the case, man, I appreciate it. Anything Chicago Bears is always a win for my family, and for me personally. Um, in regards to the secondary and D line stuff, man, that's rough. I've been a very starch critic of Noshawn Wright because when you play the receiving talent that we played recently, he's looked good. He's made the plays that he's supposed to make, but it's the plays that, or it's the type of receivers he struggles with. Now, look, anybody gonna struggle with them two guys yesterday, bro. And like, I don't blame him for getting beat at all yesterday. That didn't happen. It's like, bro, if I'm the coach, if I'm the DB coach, I'm just like, well, you was there. A better guy, a better play. I mean, a better player made a better play on a guy who doesn't have as much athleticism. But he's played better. He stuck his nose in better with the run. He's got his 2 picks now. Is it 2 or 3?
3.
3?
Yeah, Noshawn got 3, man.
Yeah, you do. You got the one end of the game. He had one versus
the Vikings.
Right. So, I mean, you playing with one starter, and you literally playing with a bunch of twos, threes, and fours. I mean, McLeod. That my man McLeod, bro. Ooh, Lord, he be cooked.
That man, he burnt chicken, boy. That's barbecue.
Barbecue chicken, bro. Barbecue chicken, yeah, most definitely. Gardner Johnson looks solid. People forget Gardner Johnson had 6 picks with the Eagles. Now that team has a different dynamic with their pass rushers. So it was surprising he hadn't been signed, but sometimes, situations, teams, scheme, et cetera, et cetera. I know some people on my end, guys I talked to was like, oh, he's a malcontent. I'm like, he's not a malcontent with the players he plays with. He's a malcontent for other people, but that's one of them guys that's kind of like that, not comparing him because of their trajectory, but the type of guy. Kind of like that Dennis Rodman thing. He's the guy that you hate to play against, but you love to have on your team. Right. He's a big corner. He's physical. He doesn't stop contact. Yeah. I definitely would have liked to see them get out of that cover 2 yesterday afternoon, because that cover 2, boy, Flacco was eating that thing up in the middle. Eating that thing up yesterday. Couldn't get the drop in the middle. He was eating the middle of that field up, man. But you playing a team, like I said, Flacco's been putting up numbers. Those receivers are standing with you, either 2s or 3s. Like they're built, their offense is built for that. But the D line thing, man, they're almost equal, but you need the D line help. Like without the pressure, you can't get the picks. It's so hard to get interceptions and PBUs if you're not getting contested balls. Like any quarterback, especially at the NFL level, it's a thing where sometimes there are some passes that are indefensible. The quarterback throws it perfectly where it's supposed to be. There's nothing a DB can do unless you're inside that man's jersey. Literally, you have to be inside that person's jersey to deflect that. So quarterbacks, every quarterback this year, I mean, even Tyler Huntley he threw for like 75% completion percentage, bro. He completed the first 11, 12 last week. So you need more people to put hands on quarterbacks. We had 3 sacks yesterday, had a fumble sack. Booker looked solid. But if you pay attention, I mean, this ain't a video game, so you can't hit the quarterback every play. But he threw the ball 47 times. He was just under 50 attempts.
Yeah,
I would like to see you need that pressure. And to talk about Joe compared to, I know somebody mentioned it earlier, what we would have been in the game if it was Joe Flacco. Joe has a tendency of holding the ball more. So that may have led to maybe another fumble, maybe another pick, maybe more sacks. Flacco ain't trying to get hit, boy. That big old man. And it's crazy we call him old because only in sports is 40 years old. Oh, I tell the young boys on the field I be playing with when I play competitive flag, man. I'm like, you're getting beat up by an old 40-year-old man right now. You getting outdone. They be like, you 40? I be like, I ain't getting no facial hater, so it is what it is. Right. I feel fighting on this side. I see all the brothers with the beards. So I'm like, damn, I'm like a baby. but Yeah, the D line thing is crazy. Even the young men they signed last week before they got CJ, they put him on the practice squad. He's kind of a journeyman-ish guy, if you can say that. He's not caught on with a team and played significant snaps. So where are you gonna get these bodies now? If you can get a guy, but it goes back to what my man said. What are you gonna give up to get a guy? Are you gonna have to sign a guy to your contract? Can you get a guy at the end of a rookie deal that's got a 5-year option? Like what's my man out of the Giants? I want to say Trudeau. Thibodeau. I call Prime Minister of Canada Trudeau. Thibodeau. But if you can get a guy like that, but the question is always, what are you going to give up? And I don't, even as a fan trying to be that mind of a GM, I don't want to give up a whole lot of draft capital when you're building a team consistently. Like, if you give up a third, fourth, maybe no first, no second picks, and you got to make it worth your while on the talent. Thibodeau only got 2 sacks this season his damn self. Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, the D-line thing is probably the more you need that. Hey, football is built around the trenches, man. And if you don't have that pass rush, and luckily they didn't run the ball yesterday, so we look like we stopped them during the run. You're gonna have problems like they did early in the season. So yeah, you need to get that D-line help most definitely.
Yeah. So before we roll this thing over to AC, man, get you checked out to see if you back good. I just want to throw this out there. There's a little bit of breaking news too. The Titans traded for Draymond Jones D-line. Well, I say they traded Draymond Jones to the Ravens. So that's another D-line pick that's off the board, man. It looked like it's a 4th rounder that when it got him. So Draymond Jones is another piece getting moved around the board, man. That's another defensive lineman out. So, hey, like I said, man, it's either you sit on your hands and you wait for certain things, man, or you start to move quick because these trades finna start coming down the pipe, man. They finna start going fast.
And there's a key guy available. There's a key guy available in Miami.
Yeah.
Listen, Brisker didn't play. Brisker didn't play his best game yesterday, bro. And really, it got a little ugly yesterday for him, man. I know who we went up against and all that, but it's a guy named Minka Fitzpatrick that Miami made available, bro.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man. Press the button, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to call. You got to make the call, bro, to see what's up. Make Miami tell you something, bro, because that undisciplined play by Brisker, man. I'll be very shocked if he comes back. Because I think he's on a contract year. I'll be very shocked if he comes back and is a Bear next year. I'll be very shocked. That number will have to be extremely low for me. But I will be drafting one. But a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick, man, that's one of those guys right there in the secondary. Him and Kevin Byard back there, bro.
Ooh, that'd be nasty.
And Minka's interchangeable. He's kind of like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, He can do a lot of things, he's very versatile. But go ahead, AC. I'm sorry.
AC, you still muted, man. Yeah, AC, man, I don't know what's going on, brother. We can't hear you at all. I didn't. Yeah, bro. Just send me a text message, man. We'll try to get things figured out for you, brother.
All right.
Yeah, as far as up front is concerned, bro, and I agree with y'all, because that's a big problem too. But I think we got more interchangeable guys up front than we do in the secondary. Like I think there's more. I think we have more bodies up front. I don't know how effective they'll be, but I think as far as the count goes, there's a lot of guys that's falling in that secondary, man. There's a lot of names that's falling in that secondary compared to the guys up front. And the way Dennis Allen coached that thing up front, those guys are interchangeable. Some of them. So that's why I went the secondary route with it. But we shall see, man. And we're gonna be tested. We're gonna get tested next week, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, man, I'm absolutely right there with you, man. I've been mulling over this all week. I think, man, my thought was like I was talking about the Jalen Phillips kid. I was like, man, maybe we could shoot a 4th round over for Jalen Phillips, flirt with that, see where that gets you. But you see the Eagles drop the 3rd. Then I also looked at the fact that you could look at somebody like a Rasul Douglas that's over there playing with the Dolphins, man. He on the 1-year rental. Hey, brother, I know you shaking your head, man, but hey, we ain't looking for nobody that in my head that you're trying to keep long term at corner.
Why?
Like until the conversation get had about what you're gonna do with Jalen Johnson or wherever the case is moving forward, man. And shit, to me, in my personal opinion, you got Stevenson you got to think about. You just re-signed Kyler Gordon. You got Jalen still under contract. I'm hoping we keep Chauncey Gardner-Johnson because I like the asshole mentality.
For sure.
I absolutely hope that he sticks going forward. And if he sticks going forward, man, then wherever you decide to slot him in, that you slot him in that. But I thought about him, Alontae Taylor from the Saints. He seemed to be a good one, man. Playing that defense, he knows Dennis Allen. The one that I hated people linking us to was my man that played for the Saints that moved to Commanders. Oof. I hated that.
Well, he's hurt, bro. He got an ACL.
He hurt now. He out for the rest of the year. But
imagine if we traded for him and that happened. God.
Man.
That'd have been rough. That'd have been rough. So, like I said, man, we done went over a couple of these trade details, man. Like I said, right now, to me, your 2 biggest needs right now are defensive end and secondary, man. Because like my boy said, we have interchangeable parts on the D line. Yeah, we got a lot of injuries. You got Shamar Turner, who's going to be out for the rest of the year, more than likely. You got Dio, who's now being confirmed is out for the rest of the year. You got, let's see who else, man. It's just as bad in the secondary.
Right.
I think those are the only two. I think those are the only 2 names that's out for the year.
Yeah.
But Grady's back, and Grady's gonna be Grady at this, this old age that he's at. We'll see, man. But I just think Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, the kid out of Smith out of Minnesota, and it's just stacking up week to week, bro.
So I know Gordon was on IR, right? So that means he's gonna be out a minimum of 4 games. So,
yep.
So yeah, man, he's such a key piece, man. It's like when he's in there, it seems just like good things happen. Like I know you said what you said about Brisker, but when Brisker and Gordon are on the field at the same time, good things happen. That's the problem. The flexibility is availability, and y'all done been on the same team for what 3 years now, and y'all only play like 12 games together. so that's the thing that hurts. No pun intended, but So, just like I said, they just need some able bodies out there. And Grady Beamer, I know that's an old man, but hey, put him in on a obvious passing situation, and well rested. That's a body we can rotate, and that's important on the line. On that defensive line. So
yeah. We got Big Bill. We got what I'm saying. We got number 91. When is he back? Because I think he comes back next week. We got Ford. We got some guys up there, man.
Yeah, it's definitely bodies on the line, man. And for what we talk about, man, I got to give Austin Booker his little toast, man.
Right on.
He made his impact right away, man. And that's what I was waiting to see. Oh shit, we got AC back. AC, man, can you talk?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, apparently earlier I was having microphone issues. I unplugged it back in. I must have turned it all the way down or something. I don't know. I think we need to go after a pass rusher, not to break old stuff up.
Okay,
I know we talked about Kayvon Thibodeau. That was the one that I was thinking of. But I mean, other than that, what are you guys talking about? I'm sorry to derail the show.
No, that's exactly what we were talking
Nah,
about.
that's
I was
gonna
trying
be
to say, that's where we was at. That's where we was
Okay.
at.
Yeah, it's Thibodeau for me. I know the numbers don't look great, but that I loved in college. And he's on his rookie deal still, so it's not going to cost you a whole lot, I don't think. And the Giants continue to draft defensive linemen to try and have a plethora there, so they're not worried about the depth at that position. I don't know if they'll make a move or not. I'm glad we got Austin Booker back yesterday. Got him a sack and a strip, and
That's what we was talking about.
did
right on cue,
his
brother.
job there. But we need so much more than we need so much
Right.
more than that. And
So
yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing to me. I don't know if they'll go for a starter or if they'll go with try and get a depth piece at the defensive end position. I keep hearing the name Jermaine Johnson out of the Jets. I just haven't seen him. He's a fit. I don't know.
that's a big
I have
dude.
no idea.
I'll say that. When you talk about people who look like, you know what I'm saying, my boy, I know he's a real good friend of my cousin, Sean Oakman style, you know what I'm saying, the one that looked like he was created on Madden.
Yeah.
Man, I seen that Jets game, man. Johnson was wearing number 11. He is yoked up. You hear me? That's a big dude. I was like, sheesh, who was 11? I started hitting the keyboard. You feel me? I'm trying to figure out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I said, yeah. But like I said, man, we spoke on the Austin Booker coming back, man. Like you said, we need more from him. He did impact the game when he was in. It was funny because you seen he got that sack, got up and started celebrating.
Right, and the ball was
turned around with the ball on the floor. I don't know how Coach Allen or Coach Johnson liked that, because after that you kind of didn't see him for a little bit. So I was like, man, I think they kind of was like, all right, man, look, we get it. You came back, you got your sack, but you got to still be in the play. You can't celebrate until you hear them whistles.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm interested in his further development, because to me, I always felt like he was going to be a big piece. I was listening today to somebody talk. I can't remember if it was CHGO or whoever it was, but somebody mentioned that from a pure pass rusher standpoint, Booker might be our best pass rusher.
Yeah, he's got the most moves.
And that's sad to say when you paying Dio and you paying Sweat the amount of money you paying.
Yeah, see, Dio, he was a high energy guy. You know, he's gonna look active, but he's, you know, he might be doing a whole lot of nothing. You know, he might just look. He look like he's, you know, doing something, but he's not really doing much out there. You know, Montez Sweat. You know, he's
another sack. You got another one.
He
Four now.
You know, like
backing him up.
But Booker is like literally like working and developing moves. You see, like I just want to see that spin move work. You know, come out like them underhooks and stuff. When you got good hands, you saw that like, because he's not the biggest guy, but for him to get that hand in the right place, that's like good technique. And to knock him, Orlando Jones back like that and put him on his ass. So that's great technique. You know, that shows you that you're paying attention in practice and you working on your craft. You know, coming from that's one of the players I have my eye on the most. I'm like, I really am interested in seeing how he develops, because it's like, you know, he's doing the talking. You hear that he's doing all the work and everything. It's like, okay, now let us see it on the field. And yeah, just don't celebrate too soon. That's about it.
I'm just glad to see that guy helmet and shoulder pads, bro. Tell you the truth.
Absolutely. Now, all right, man. So, you know, we done broke down a couple of these things, man. And I mean, right now you're looking at a team that's 5-3. You're third in the division right now. Oh my God, ultra competitive division, man. Ultra competitive. You got somehow the Packers still number. God, I don't get it.
But they lost to the
Lost to the Panthers.
But they're the Panthers, though.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so right now, this team is still in the mix of things, man. I mean, you can point out to say this team could be 7-1. You can also make the case that we could have lost a lot more of these games that we done won.
Right.
And I think that is leaning toward the leadership, man, because you can see the collective change, right? I always speak on this, man. When I say coaching matters, I always bring up the fact about them Saints. I can't stand the Saints, but the one thing that you can't take away from them is when Sean Payton coached them boys, when he had to sit out that year, you seen the drop off. You seen how that team went from being stable to being in flux because they didn't have a commander-in-chief at the head of that ship. And then he came back and it was like smooth sailing right back. It was like they didn't miss a beat.
Coaching definitely matters, bro.
You watch these locker rooms after these wins that we get to see. You don't see all this hype, we partying, dancing around, kicking it, and rah-rahing and all this stuff, and folks going live. What you see is people dialed in. Your head coach is rounding all these boys up, man, and you can see how they look at him. It's a contagious thing when you sit there and you start to believe, and it's something I don't think we've seen in Chicago. Man, I mean, probably since you had a Dicker. You know what I'm saying? Lovey was a great coach in his own right, but Lovey, I don't think commanded a room the way that Ben Johnson is commanding this room with these kids. All them boys, they are bought into whatever the hell he is preaching. Whatever he is telling them, this good, better, best thing. You watch people on the outside, oh, that's corny, that's this, that's that. Hell, good, better, best is winning these games late in the fourth quarter now.
Yeah.
Your head coach got these boys bought in. So with me speaking on that, man, let me hear everybody's thoughts, man. What are y'all feelings right now on Coach Ben Johnson? Are there things that need to be fixed? Absolutely.
Yeah. See, well, this is what I like the most about Ben Johnson, right? Ben Johnson is a straight shooter.
Yes.
He's gonna, like, when you watch his press conference, he's not gonna give you the word salad. You know, he's gonna shoot it straight. Like when they talked about, practicing and the penalties and stuff. He said, yeah, we're nowhere near our practice efforts are nowhere near a championship caliber team. And he's like, he's not gonna sugarcoat it, but they gonna do what's necessary to get an improvement, or they're gonna find somebody that is gonna do it. So, like, when you make the tough decisions, like we'll see what happened with this kicker thing, because that's a tough decision too. Like, all right, I know he was offsides,
not tough at all. You got one job, and that's to make field goals. Making field goals. I'm sorry, Cairo. Thank you for your services. You can take Coach Hightower with you. Ridiculous. You let them return. You let them return the opening kick for a touchdown, so you're down a touchdown as soon as you start the game, and then you almost don't let them do it again, and then you can't regular 45-yard field goals now. Like, nope. Yeah. Bye.
Right. Yeah, he got let off the hook with that offsides, and we wound up, scoring a touchdown. But like you said, he did miss that field goal though.
Absolutely.
So yeah, what was fun is Ben Johnson as a coach. Like, I just feel like like the players are all in. You just feel like they'll run through a wall for this guy, and I think he has their respect, and I think they want to win for each other as well as a coach. But I think he has them on a thing like, hey, do it for your teammates. And like that's what you see. You see the effort, you see the camaraderie, and you see them coming together. So yeah, just got to be healthy. I think that's one of the biggest things is our health. I think if this team was full health, I think we'll have a couple more wins than what we already got.
Go for it, Chef.
Yeah, so just a couple things. I believe in this coaching staff from top to bottom, man, from the head man to the assistants to the position coaches. I'm a firm believer in the coaches matter, especially at the NFL level, because you are grown men. Listen to other grown men. You know, it's different when you in high school when you call your coach or coach this or Mr. and Mrs. that because they're working your high school or even at the college level, everyone's coach. You know, a lot of these players call Ben or they call their coach by their name, so it's a different dynamic. And for the most part, you're getting paid more than your head coaches, so or your assistant coaches. So that respect has to be key in what they're saying and the information that they're giving you. You have to feel like, regardless if they played at your level, that the information and the things that they're giving you are going to be useful for your success in this league because the NFL is not for long. A couple comments I saw earlier that I disagree with. One was someone was saying that I think Illinois Jones or someone was saying that how many games has Kyler played since he's been in the league. So minus this season, he's played 14, 13, 15. So he's played 85% of his games up until recently. So his injuries, I don't think that's an issue. This year, I would say it's kind of an anomaly. I don't think he's going to break 10 games this year. Obviously, being on the IR and missing the first crop of games. The second one was someone saying Monangai is now RB1. No, he had a really good game. He's still RB2. He's still learning. I think you have a two-headed monster here. He had more carries than Swift has had individually than any game as a Bear. I think he had 25 yesterday. So even games that Swift had his 100-yard games in this season and last year, I don't think he's ever put together 25 carries, let alone 25 touches. So you need that equal balance between the two because they're drastically two different backs. So that can be. I think you got to just take you lead with Swift because of the speed aspect, and you come down and you bring Monangai in to spell him short yardage. We definitely got to do something about our short yardage offense because that's not that much different than the red zone running game. Both of those are the issues. Red zone and short yardage are practically the same damn thing. Getting 1 yard and getting the goal line, or whether you get it's a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. And the last thing I'm going to say, because unfortunately my boys are giving me the flux right now, but I want to say thank you guys for having me on. Thank you all for reaching out to bring me on. It's been a great opportunity to chop it up with you gentlemen. But the last thing I will say is that I'm one of those fans that I've learned in my Spanish, being a Bears fan, that I remember the 90s with Dave Wannstedt thinking when I was a kid that every game was winnable and this team was Super Bowl bound. And you go back and look at those rosters, you're like, bro, these teams weren't good teams. These teams weren't good teams. And then playing the game and coaching it at the high school level, I've learned that I try to live life in the middle, like never too high, too low. You can't help it. Sometimes your emotions get the best of you. I had this team being 9-7 because my expectation was this was a major growth year for the coaches being first-time coaches in their position, especially Ben, especially the OC, especially the whole offensive side of the ball. Caleb being a second-year quarterback with his third play caller, third head coach too, because so with all the turmoil with him the past year and a half now since we were 8 games in, I thought it would take legitimately half of the season for things to click. I mean, it took Goff a half a season, and he was already a veteran who had played in the Super Bowl. So it's going to take Caleb a little more time, regardless of where he was drafted, regardless of his talent. So I'm going to be patient. I had this team going 9-7. I did have them losing against the Ravens prior to the season starting. I had picked some games here, they're out of order. But I think they're on a good trajectory. When you play those better teams, because right now they haven't beat a winning team with a winning roster yet. A winning record yet. You beat the Cowboys, you beat the Saints. You beat the Aints. You just beat this Bengals team. You beat the Raiders, who just man. I hate saying pro athletes are trash, but as a team, they cheat. The Raiders are cheating.
Very bad.
I think the only team we play with a winning record is Detroit, right?
Yeah.
And we got stomped out by Detroit. But I think that was an aberration. I think that was just that team was more prepared than we were prepared in that particular game. That game got out of hand really early, and then some calls, some plays. That it's football. I always say it's football in today, man. Everything. So I'm still going to be patient with this team every game. Now, this time next year, I'm gonna have some different expectations, as though we all should. I've heard people say this team should make the playoffs. I've heard people say this team should be a 10-win team. If things shake right the way they are now, I can see them putting up 10 games. Now, 10 games don't even guarantee you in the NFC, let alone this division, the best division in football, NFC North. It don't guarantee you a playoff spot. So when you can go 10-7 and you can still not be in the playoffs this year. But my expectations are still for them to progress and look better every week. Injuries don't help, but this offense has got to look more crisp come the second half of the season. Caleb figuring out what you're going to do with a tackle, bona fide your receivers. I don't have a problem with the receiving group. I don't have a problem with the running back group. It's just that line and how Caleb's going to progress. Defensively, it's going to be hard to gauge the defense for the rest of the year when you're not healthy. When you got guys who are not suiting up because we lost 2 D linemen in 2 games to season-ending injuries, Achilles and the ACL. I think Sweat's looking better. He's got 4 sacks in 8 games. I think he's played better than last year with the injuries. So the thing now is you take your best defensive group, which was DBs, and now they're kind of like your linemen. They have more, your D-line group. They have more questions. The only secure group on defense you have is your linebacker core, which is crazy because we didn't think that, and they played way better than we thought they would play. So, hey, I'm an eternal optimist. I always believe the glass is half full. Hopefully we stay healthier to finish the season strong, and I'm definitely eager to see what this team is going to have and hold for the second half of this NFL season. I'm always going to say bear down. Thank you guys for having me on. And since the Bears, I have to leave this before I get out of here. Since the Bears won, and since Caleb has been doing it since he's been drafted, and I end most of my TikTok videos with this, is I always say, since they won, you got to give them the claw. Thank you guys for having me on. Best to all of you all. Man, blessings, peace and blessings to everybody.
Jeff, man, before you get out of here, tell people how you can find you at, brother.
So you can find me, Chicago Clubhouse Network is who I do my podcast with. My pregame show is called The Bears Pregame Report. We do that literally about 2 hours before every game. It runs about an hour, hour and a half. You can catch me there. You can catch me on TikTok. I have 2 TikToks, but the one that I'm trying to get some space on is host.coach_chef. That's where you're going to get some halftime content from me. Hopefully you get some weekly content from me. I'm trying to do better with this whole, now I don't look 40, but I feel 40 when I'm on TikTok. Man, it take me forever to edit my videos. You know, I'm not getting the push out. But hey, if you could check me out there, that'd be greatly appreciated. And anytime you guys want to have me back, I will be grateful to have to give you all some more of my opinions and to collab with you all. And if you all ever free on a Sunday to chop it up with us, me, my boy Crooked Commission, my boy F, on any Sunday before the Bears play, any Sunday, Thursday, or Monday, although I think the rest of the season is all Sunday games. But if you all are ever welcome to come on up, we would love to have some more Bears fans and check us out, man, most definitely.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Bro. Yes, indeed.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, bro. We appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
All right.
All right, man. So, I mean, man, we've been at this thing for about an hour and 20, man. I want to get into a little bit more real quick on this Giants game, man. Thoughts moving forward with the roster, what y'all expect, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna start this thing off. Like I've said this, and I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Every week is you going about business. It's not nothing personal. I'm not looking to get revenge on nobody. I don't care about none of that. All I care about is chasing the next dub. Kyle Monangai, to me, said it best when he got his game ball, man. We chasing 6. We're going out there next week to get the 6th win.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know what the status of DeAndre Swift is going to this game. You don't know who might be traded to the team by tomorrow, what reinforcements we may or may not get. But I do know one damn thing for sure. You go into this game, you approach this game just like you did the Bengals game. Lean on the running game and let Caleb play action off of it. Let him build off of the running game. The running game is a quarterback's best friend. Yeah. I absolutely believe Kyle Monangai can turn in another great performance. I'm not expecting him to rush for another 176 yards. But you get me anywhere between the 80 and 100 yards, and you get me around 120 to 130 all-purpose yards, then to me that's a great day for me. To me, I want to also see Caleb playing rhythm more. Yeah, I think the best example I can give you of him playing in rhythm was the throw to win the game.
Yeah.
It was boom, boom,
He's
boom.
a different player in the last under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
It's a
I
clutch
wish he
win
could play like that all the game.
all day.
Right. Like he's definitely got like what people would call that clutch gene. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
like he
It factor.
right. He turns it on at the end of the game. When you need him to show up, he shows up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one thing I'm very grateful about Caleb. So yeah, he doesn't shy away in the biggest moments of the game. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
he understands what needs to be done and executes it. Kind of like it, just trust your players and yeah, you see exactly what happened when you do that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I think Ben Johnson, especially like after the last week's game, they talked about his decision making and stuff, and they made the whole big deal about him with the interception. Like, just check it down, just make the smart play, get positive, yardage, like run more. You don't have to be the hero all the time. You don't have to look for that splash play all the time. I know that's what got you drafted, but you're in the big boy leagues now. They don't operate the same way. You got to make your adjustments.
Yeah.
So, like on that last drive when he ran for that first down and didn't try to force anything, like stuff like that. Like just take the positive play. The more he does that, man, I'm telling you, this, when you just see, because like when you look, like I've been watching the coaches film and all that stuff. The 22 and all, and I'm telling you, man, it's like these people be open. It's like I was like, man, I said, oh man, if he would have like checked down or, sometimes the line will hold up and just get it out there faster. And you think the line is not doing nothing, but he's just holding the ball a little bit too long.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, 3, out, get that ball out. Like, so the more we see that, and as far as the next game with the Giants, they defense line is a little more formidable. So we'll see how our offensive line holds up in a real like true test against and yeah, I hope that running game, like I don't know if Swift's gonna come back or not. We'll see if we get as many healthy people. We need them all. So
Absolutely.
yeah, a lot could be, the roster could be a lot different. Seeing how we even get to the game. So I know it's at home, so I hope the Bears can pull it off and no penalties, like cut these penalties down and all this false starting stuff and run, like you said, execute on the run. Get Monangai and Swift, get on the ball. And yeah, I think we'll be all right. I mean, after you don't want to look past, but yeah.
No, we ain't good enough to look past nobody.
Right.
You don't look past nobody.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like the season and like getting healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to because I really need the secondary to get healthy, man.
Absolutely. Hey, C, man, what you thinking about this upcoming game, brother?
Man, I think if you think you can overlook the Giants just because they're what is that, 2-7 record, ask the Philadelphia Eagles. Ask the Philadelphia Eagles about overlooking them because they can get you. I think Trey said it perfectly. You got to run the ball. Running game is your quarterback's best friend. And I want to see Caleb calm down, man. I said it last week, and I feel like I saw it again. When the ball hits his hand from the snap, I feel like it's panic. It's someone. It's like he's trying to defuse a bomb, and he's scared he's going to cut the wrong cord. And that's you got to fix that, man. You got to just stay calm, like you said. And that final drive with him on the line, he's got that clutch factor where he knows what wire to cut. Why are we not knowing what wire to cut all the way up through the game? You know what I'm saying? I just it's hard for me to understand. Um, I don't know if I'll see news of it this week, but I want to see Jake Moody called up from the practice squad. I'll say it every time there's a microphone in front of me. I'm over it with Cairo Santos. I know. I was listening to Captain J Hood this morning, and David Kaplan was on there saying how he's the most accurate kicker in Bears history. Well, the Bears history doesn't help us last Sunday when he's missing a 45-yard field goal. I just he got bailed out on one of the missed field goals. We had a penalty.
Yep.
You know, if it wasn't for that, he would have had 2 missed field goals. You know, you nail
True indeed.
those, and we ain't even talking about. It's not even a close game at the end. You know, I don't know. I'm over it with the kicker, but yeah, I mean, just run the ball and the penalties, man. And I'm sorry to take all the talking. Kill ourselves with the penalties. We talk about the red zone offense being able to finish. So many times it's on ourselves. Thing they do to us. We're jumping early. And I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what the deal is, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Run the ball and calm down, Caleb. That's my 2 biggest points.
Great points. Everybody got great points, man. But there's more. I think the penalties are the penalties, and yesterday I think they had 7 penalties for like 43 or 46 yards. You know, compared to the way things have been going the last couple of weeks, that's pretty solid, right? You know, but it's just the timing of the penalties that get me. You know, and it's always seemed to happen after a big play or during a big play. Something goes, you know what I'm saying? Something goes to shit. But the thing about Ben Johnson, right? He's created such a reputation for himself as a coordinator. People forget that this is a rookie head coach. You know, people, you know, they think it's one and the same, you know, and it's not. It's very different. You know, being a coordinator, you know, you're a coordinator. You know, it's like the difference between being a lead and a manager, or you know what I'm saying, or a VP, if you will. You know, um, but he's created such a reputation for himself that people feel like that this thing should be seamless for him. Is it fair? No, but that's the way it goes. But he's doing the best he can, and as long as we as Bears fans can see a change in environment, change in players and how they conduct themselves on a week to week basis, which we do see, you know. And I think somebody spoke on the difference between him and Lovey. Lovey spoke more to the culture of the franchise, being a defensive guy, and you seen the team respond in that fashion. Ben is different because what he speaks to is a lot different than what the Bears have ever had. You know, just an offensive guy that can make this offense just effective as Lovey did with the defense. You know, so that's the difference there. But I think the best is yet to come with Ben. You know, as far as the Giants are concerned, we have to look at the Giants as a game similar to the Vikings game in week 1. The only difference is that we have enough tape on Jackson Dart, and the Giants, they have a lot of key players missing as well. But there's tape, there's film there to go by. You know, he and JJ, you know, they like to move their feet, you know, and they do get the ball out quick. I think JJ is a little bit more decisive than Jackson, but similar guy that we're facing. Defensive wise, similar to the Vikings, can get after the quarterback with the best of them. You know, their 2-7 record. They've been competitive in most games. So don't let that fool you and don't let that sway you in your decision making. You have to respect them. You know, this is a home game. I think, you know, I put emphasis that every home game we play should be a win. You know, you have to be like, if you're not comfortable at home, you know, there's a problem there. There's a bigger problem. So this is a home game going up against a opponent with a lesser record, and you know, a bunch of hungry guys on the defensive end is going to try to get after our quarterback. Protection is a must. You know, left tackle over there. I don't know why his name always escapes me, but I want to call him by name. Help me out.
Left tackle. Yeah, that's
Yo,
Theo
Theo Benedict.
Benedict.
Theo Benedict. Listen,
yeah.
you had 2 games, 2 weeks in a row. You kind of slipping, homie. Your slip showing. So tighten up. Get in the film room. Work on what you need to work on because you're going to be tested again. I hope you're ready. And for that, maybe this is the game, fellas. Maybe this is the game where we see a complete show from our team. You know what I'm saying? We finally get the pretty girl to go out with us this week. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope. You know what I mean? So looking forward to what we hear throughout the week. And concerning the remainder of this year, looking at the schedule, we got Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Philly, Green Bay twice, Cleveland, Frisco, and Detroit.
God damn.
that's a murder's row.
Yeah. Green Bay lost a key player yesterday. Now
Yes.
I'm not praying for guys to get hurt. Like, don't get it messed up. I'm not looking for that. But this is just how strange this league gets. Remember, guys, we were at the bottom and now we're looking towards the top because of the way things are transpiring. And this is a week-to-week thing, and we cannot necessarily worry about what we do, what other teams do, but just focus on what we need to do to be the best we can be. But also pay attention to these injured players that we're hearing about week to week. Because every week, and you see what's going on with us. So, of course, it's going to go on around the league. Every week is somebody keep missing out of lineup. So, you just never know how this thing sway because I think Green Bay play Philly this weekend. So, if we handle our business
Monday.
against the Giants, there's a possibility that we can be tied for first place, fellas. This is a thing. And that was kind of what we was facing versus Baltimore. Same thing. We had an opportunity to be tied for first. We let that one get by. We cannot make the same mistake.
Absolutely not. So, all that saying, man, like I said, man, we've been at this thing, brother, man. I appreciate everybody that's been on here tonight, man. Everybody's been doing their thing. Everybody's been dropping nuggets left and right, man. These are gems, fans. I want y'all to listen to what these fellas are talking about because what they're talking about is what the damn truth is, man. And we gonna always bring it to you. We're not sugarcoating nothing. Whenever we see some nonsense, we're gonna call it out, no matter if it's our team or not. That's what you get when you listen to real podcasts, is folks that want to actually give you good words. You know what I'm saying? Good actual truths. You feel me? We gonna roll around, man, get this thing going to get up out of here, man. So I'm gonna pass this thing around the room, man. Y'all give me your final thoughts, man. Y'all give shout outs, all of that.
All right.
What you do? Trey, man, take us away, brother.
Right. Yeah, well, shout out to the chat. The chat was cracking tonight, man. They are commenting, and I love that when the chat's involved. It's almost like having another co-host that you can refer to. So everybody in the chat, shout out to y'all because you're part of this too. So voice y'all opinions, and we're gonna definitely let you know how we feel. We're not gonna sugarcoat it, like you said. And just shout out to all the people that like this, subscribe, to keep this going, because we all want our favorite team to win, and we're glad y'all all want to be a part of the conversation, and seeing our team do great and going forward, and watching all of that. So that's what I'm giving my shout outs to.
All right, AC.
All right. Yeah, I mean, just like Trey said, shout out to the chat, man. They were definitely on and popping today. Giving us all the feedback we needed. Shout out to Trax moderating the chat. Telling everybody what's up. We had 2 big winners tonight. Shout out to Chef for coming on here with us. It was awesome to meet that dude.
Hell yeah.
He was killing it and giving us all kinds of great information. And shout out to y'all coming on here and bearing with me through my technical difficulties. I'm sorry again. But I really look forward to our Monday night chats, especially a victory Monday, an exhilarating victory. That's got to be in the history of Bears games. That's got to be one of the top 2 or 3, just from how exciting it was. The roller coaster of going from losing to just back and forth.
What was it? 8
I don't
league
know,
changes?
but
Something like that. It was crazy. It was like a basketball game with the lead changes, like back and forth, back and forth. Oh,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they talked to Caleb and said, "Well, Caleb just said we're built for this." I guess so. But we'll just, bear down, y'all.
All
For
right.
sure, for sure. As gut wrenching and as trying as this game was for us as fans, I think this could be a major boost for the morale for the team, concerning especially the offense. You know, guys being able to put up that point amount. You know, maybe this can lead on to some great things. You know, going forward, this can boost the confidence. And you know, though they played up against a team that's record wise not pretty good, but you show you can stand up to some of the best in the league. Because 47 points is 47 points, bro. I don't care how you shape, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe this is to be a huge confidence booster going back home versus New York. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody for what I'm saying, wherever you watching us. Appreciate you guys and girls for rocking with us tonight. Shout out to you guys, man. You three guys are, what I'm saying, are the top of the top, man. Great job. And shout out to Q too. I know he bounced out early. Shout out to Chef. It was good meeting him, getting good perspective from another Bears fan. You know, we all love this team and we all want the best for them, and we all have our own way of how they can get to be a successful franchise again. So, shout out to him. Shout out to the sponsors, El Bandino Yankee, ESPI Sports Trading Cards, and also Bridges Scoreboard. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my man Trax for making it happen. And shout out to everyone. Peace and love and bear down.
Absolutely, man. Like my boy said, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all did y'all thing today. Shout out to both the winners of the jerseys. I know my boy Chef got one of them things, man. Man, shout out to Chef, man. It's a hell of a guy, man. And we enjoyed having you on. You know I got love for everybody on this panel, man. Hey, see my other brother, man, D Nice Trey, man. Y'all, we this vibe, man. We got it. It's a hell of a vibe, man. It's something I enjoy doing every Monday with y'all. Like I said, man, we hunting for number 6. That's where we got to go from here. We hunting for number 6, man. 'Cause at this point, it's a numbers game. That's all this is. If you want to be playing meaningful football going into November and all of that, man, you got to win these games now. Taking one game at a time when we build on them dubs. Shout out to Trax for getting everybody on this thing, man. And like I said, man, my boy Soldier, man, we're going to end this thing with a bear down, baby. Bear down.
Damn.
There it is.